You ever sat in a creek and waited for somebody to come get you? Wait to be rescued? Neither have I. Until now. It's always what you want in your face when you first wake up. Can off. But without it, I wouldn't make it in these woods. Whew, dang sure to get them bugs off. Well, good morning, y'all. Welcome to another adventure. Today I am in Franklin County, Mississippi, and I am at a place called Clear Springs Campground, and they have two trails here. They have a trail that goes around the lake. It's, I think, like a 1.2 or 1.3 mile trail that goes around the lake, and it's a nice trail too. It's not long enough to get what I'm looking to get today, so I'm doing the longer trail. I believe it's called the Richardson Creek Trail, and it's over 8 miles. I think on the app that I use, they say it's about 8.2 or 3 miles, But if you look at the comments, a lot of people say it's over 9 miles for the whole trip. I've hiked this before with my kids last year, but I did it actually earlier this year, but I did it in the just before spring hit, so it was way cooler than it is now. It's hot. I've got my off on because I'm already getting attacked by mosquitoes, so I can see already how this day is going to go. But anyway, it's beautiful. I don't know if y'all can hear that. There are birds singing. Birds singing everywhere. So it's the forest is definitely coming alive this morning. So anyway, we're gonna hike this trail, and I am going to do my best to get some pictures of something today. We'll see what we can find. I've never been on this trail in the summer. Everything is green in the summertime, obviously. So it makes it a little more difficult to pick out a nice scene because everything is green. But we'll see what we can do. So anyway, I will bring y'all back later on when hopefully I have a composition set up and a picture to take. Alright guys, I have literally, I don't think I walked more than 20-30 feet from the last time that I spoke to you, telling you where I was and all. And I was just walking, and you know, I'm looking left and right, seeing if there's anything unique I can see in the woods here. And I just stopped, and something told me just turn around. So I turned around, and I looked in the same path that I just came down. When I looked at it from the opposite direction, it has a really nice, cool little winding scene to it, I guess you'd say. I got the sun. I'm gonna try to turn y'all around and show y'all what I'm talking about. But the sun's coming through the trees. Got a nice warm glow on the forest this morning. And a lot of times I try to do that. I'll go through. I'll be walking through the woods or wherever I'm at on a trail. And I just try to remind myself to stop and turn around and look. And sometimes you'll get some of the coolest shots from where you just came from, but you weren't able to see it because it looked different when you're walking the other way. If you turn around, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I was came just down through here. This was where I came from. I was walking from there, walking this way, going through there. Well, when I walked down through here, it wasn't that great of a scene. I didn't notice nothing, but I just turned around, see all the sun rays coming through the forest this morning, coming through the trees, and then it's hard to see on this camera. See, I'll try to see if I can record it from my mirrorless, my actual camera down here, and show you. I think I can, but so anyway. You got this path that basically leads, it kind of winds left and right, and it comes down through this way. And it's got a bunch of roots going through from all these pine trees. And then again, you got the sun coming in from this side, from the right, and it's just, everything's kind of glowing and green this morning. So it made for a nice first picture. It's nothing grand, nothing great, but it is, I think it's nice. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take a photo of it now. And just in case my camera on my digital camera, my camera I'm shooting with over here, I'm recording a video of it now. So what I'm talking about, it's hard doing this with two cameras, y'all. I watch YouTubers all the time do it, and they must be just used to it because it's kicking my butt. But here's the scene. You can see the little, maybe this is better. You can see the trail comes down here, and it just kind of winds back up through there and goes into the distance. I've done my best to try to get rid of these sun rays here. Keep coming in the side of the photo. It's hard to get rid of them. I have to hide basically behind a tree to get rid of that. But anyway, I've got to get moving. So I'm gonna take this shot, and if I like it, I'll put it on the screen now. So begins bugs everywhere. I don't think the off did much good. As I was saying, so begins the ascent. I heard a deer. I was coming up this hill right here, and I heard a deer take off running. I guess I snuck up on him. I was trying to run to the top of the hill and see if I could video him real quick running off, but he's gone down that. Oh, going down that there holler. So squirrels up there too, trying to throw pine cones at me. There is no reason. Nowhere in the world should be this hot this early in the morning. I mean, I think it's 8 o'clock. I am drenched in sweat. I've got about 40 pounds in my bag here. A tripod. Like a miniature machete, I guess you'd call it. Just in case I need it for whatever. And I'm dying. At the moment, I'm just waiting for I've got a something that I think would make a good picture. But I'm waiting for the sun to come out. It's kind of cloudy right now. Without light, it's not going to be that good of a picture, but just a waiting game now. All right, y'all. We got our second little scene set up here. Our second composition. I'm going to take you up here and show you. I've tried to do the recording thing on the camera where I could put a second record on the camera and put a second video on the screen to show you exactly what my camera setup is. It's too much. I don't like doing that. It's just too much to handle, too much to deal with. So I'm literally going to take you up here and show you. Here's my camera, and it's facing these little group of 3 trees here. There's the trail. I'm not going to include the trail in, but you can see whatever tree this is. I don't know what tree it is. It's kind of curves up like this, and you got a tree there and another tree there. But what you'll see on that tree is leaves that are kind of turned this burnt orange, this yellow orange color. And I don't know if that's because, well, I know it's not because it's fall or beginning to turn fall, because it's hot. It is miserable. It's going to be, I think, 100 degrees out here today. And of course that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So but they're turning, I guess they're turning colors early because it's just so dang hot, and we haven't had any rain here, and it's been weeks we've had no rain. And then when you mix that in with the heat, I'm assuming that's why these trees are turning colors. I wish I knew my trees better. I've got to start learning my trees. My daddy knows. I would say he probably knows every tree in these woods. Every time we go hunting or doing anything, if I want to know what kind of tree it is, I just ask him, because he knows every single one. I got to brush up on my trees. Anyway, turn this on. I've got it set up to a square crop. I'm not doing a full 4:3 aspect ratio, which is what the sensor on my camera is. But I've went in here and click on your menu. You can go in here on the Canon and you can choose full 4:3. You can choose square crop, 16:9 crop, different crops. So it basically what the camera does is it crops it in the camera before you even take the picture. That way you know what it's going to look like. So I don't want to include this trail. I don't want to include all the trees. I just want to include the 3 trees that I mentioned just then, the group together right there. So that's all I want to include on this in the picture. And as far as my settings go, I'm at ISO 100 because obviously I want the best quality of this picture. So the lowest ISO is always the best, especially when you're shooting on a tripod, because you're not going to get much movement anyway. I'm at f4 because I'm doing my best to somewhat blur out the background. These 3 trees are the only things I care to be in focus. The rest of it I don't care, because everything is so green. I kind of want these leaves to kind of stand out against the background and all that green. So I'm at f4, and that's that'll just give it enough depth of field to have the trees in focus, and probably most of the leaves too. So anyway, ISO 100, shooting at f4, and that'll give us a shutter speed of 1/13 of a second. And I've also got my polarizer on. I've got a polarizing filter built into this adapter that I have here for my lens, so it'll kind of polarize the greens and make them stand out, kind of pop a little bit. So before any of these trees, before any more of these leaves fall off of this tree, I'm gonna go ahead and take this picture. And I keep looking over my back, because this is a well-known, a very popular trail for hiking apparently. So I know I don't want that awkward moment where I'm sitting here running my mouth to y'all, and then a hiker comes up with this dog, and I'm sitting here talking to a camera in the middle of the woods. That would be awkward. So anyway, let's go ahead and take this picture now. I like it. this, man, there are critters everywhere. It's driving me insane. Snakes. I just about stepped on a snake. About 5 spiders all over me. Anywho, as I was saying, I almost stepped on a snake about 5 minutes ago. And I looked down and I jumped. I don't even know what kind it was. It was black. It was dark. I don't know if it was brown or black. I just jumped and took off because it was right by my foot. So, but even though it's going to be 100 degrees out here today, and even though about every 10 to 15 steps that I take, I have to swat at a spider web and watch for snakes everywhere I go, this is still a beautiful, beautiful place to be in. There's another tree. You can see the orange color of the leaves. Dangerous heat and lack of water will do it every time, I guess. I really hope my camera batteries on this DJI Action 3 that I have, I hope the batteries last for this hike. I'm already low on battery on the first battery, and I don't think I've gone but like maybe 1.5 miles in these woods. Oh, so I'm gonna cut down on the recording just a little bit, and I'll bring you back later on. Now this part of the woods looks a bit spooky. I'm not spooked. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it looks. I came from a bright, kind of like a cut over over there where they cut some log, some trees. It was all open and bright. Then I crossed over into this, and it got really dark, and the woods got really thick with trees. So. Spooky but cool. As soon as I say that, the sun comes out and brightens everything up. That's about right. There's a deer right there. Right there. Oh, I spooked her up. There's a doe sitting right over there on the edge of that ridge, sitting in the summer heat. I always like to see them in the summer. Of course, you can't hunt them, but I like to see them in the summer because their coat is so orange and brown. It's a really nice, a pretty color. So really stands out, especially when the sun hits it like it just did with that one. I'm gonna creep over this ridge right here, see if I can find her again. I doubt it though. She's probably long gone by now. Oh, yeah. I may have just washed off all the bug spray I sprayed on this morning, but I do not care. I'm about to lose this battery. I got 4%, so I'm about to change it in just a second, but I've had to take about every 20 minutes. I have to sit down and take a break because it's that hot. I know you don't want to hear me gripe, moan, and complain about the heat, but man, it's got to hurry up and go away. It's got to hurry up and turn fall or something. Anyway, all right, I'll get back on the trail. Continue on. Oh, oh, oh. They think I'm crazy for doing this again, but when I said it's hot, I wasn't kidding. It is dangerously hot. Came off of this road. Thought I heard a car coming. Anyway, the trail comes out right over there, and you have to walk this road down and go back in the woods over there. was sitting there sorry, trying to hold my tripod and everything else, but I was sitting there walking on this road and drinking my water bottle, my second of only 3 that I have. And it was pretty much then that I realized there's no way I can finish this walk, this trail. So instead of going back into there, and trying to retrace my steps all the way back to the beginning of the trail, to the trailhead, I'm going to walk on this road as far as I can. Oh, let me stop for a minute. As far as I can, because it's going to meet, the trail crosses up here. I don't know, maybe a half mile to 3/4 of a mile, something like that. The trail crosses back over the road, so I'm going to try to hop back in the trail. And then make it back to my car. I do have plenty of family members that I could call to come get me if need be, but I'm going to try to do it myself first, because it's about a 30-minute drive or I say 30 minute, probably 30 miles. For the closest will be my parents, and they're probably a good 30 miles from here. So I'm going to try to go back and finish this myself. Not finish the trail, because I think there's probably still 6 miles of this trail left. There's no way I can do that. I can't do it. It's too hot. I thought I could. I brought some snacks and 4 bottles of water, one of which I drank before I got out of the car this morning, and then I had 3 left. Well, 2 of those 3 are gone, and I've got 1 left, and about 6 miles left to hike, and it's not even the hottest part of the day yet. So that's not going to work. Being in the military, they stress to us on a consistent basis about the importance of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, dehydration, and how to avoid it. So instead of trying to push on, I got to swallow my pride on this one and just admit I can't do it. It's too hot. So anyway, summer heat is no joke, y'all. Especially in Mississippi, it is no joke. I'm walking up a hill, so that's why I'm kind of out of breath, sorry. I'm gonna keep walking, and I'll bring you back a little bit later when I get closer to the trail. Well, I know my hair's a crazy mess right now from soaking it in the creek. I just got off the phone with my mom and my daddy, and both of them. And they are on their way to get me because I don't know. Like I said earlier, been my whole career in the military. They try to push in our heads what to look for, the signs of overheating, and I'm quite sure I'm there. So they're on the way to get me. I'm going to go back down to this creek that I was in just a few minutes ago, and I'm going to try to cool off and just keep cool until they get here. That way I don't pass out. So my mom's a nurse, so she knows all about this stuff, and of course my daddy, he's been in this heat all his life, so he knows it too. So hate to ask them to come all the way out here to get me, because like I said, it's about at least a 30-minute drive out here. I hate to do that, but I also know I'm almost out of water, and if I don't call somebody, I could be in some serious trouble. And in these woods, oh man, unless you're on a trail or unless you're somewhere where people travel, you may not get found. I mean, these are some deep woods. Bunch of hills, hollers, ridges, gullies, whatever you want to call them. But anyway, all that aside, I hate to cut the trip short, the video. Not the video, I'm not going to end the video, but I hate to cut my trip short because I've hiked this trail before, and there's several places that towards the end of this trail that are really nice, and I think we'll have a lot of good opportunities for photography. But I mean, that doesn't matter when I'm on the verge of having some health problems. So I'd much rather be alive and live to photograph another day than try to push on and finish this hike, this trail, and wind up passing out somewhere and nobody knows where I am. So I'm going to go down here. There's a creek. And I'm going to find a spot that I can just kind of sit beside it and cool off and wait for them to come get me. So this will definitely be one for the books right here. I'm glad I got a few pictures this morning before this happened, because otherwise this video would have been completely worthless. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go down here by the creek and then wait for them to get here. You ever sat in a creek? Hey? You ever sat in a creek and waited for somebody to come get you? Wait to be rescued? Neither have I. Until now. Y'all can probably hear the creek flowing behind you. I've got only a few minutes left on this rock before the sun moves behind that tree, and then the shade will be gone. So I'm going to enjoy it while I can. Oh, it's hot. I won't ever do this again. Until fall gets here, y'all best believe that you're gonna get early morning sunrise shots or videos, or late evening sunset videos. Cause I ain't going out in midday like this anymore. Not till it cools off. Speaking of that, let me just curiosity here. See how hot it is. Never mind, no internet. It's weird. I have service right there on that bridge behind y'all, but I get down here and there is none. Service? No service. Oh man. that is the last bit of water I have. You always hear, you know, don't conserve your water. Drink it while you have it, because you wait too long trying to save water, you wind up getting dehydrated. Instead of just drinking what you have and letting your body use it the way it needs to keep you alive. So yeah, there's my amateur tip. Any of you photographers out there, or anybody who does any kind of hiking, especially in the heat, better stay hydrated. Get hydrated before you even go. The night before, the morning of, and continuously replenish your fluids throughout the day while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. So when your body stops sweating, it's too late. That's when you know it's bad. Well, y'all, I am out of the woods and out of trouble. Thank God for family. I tried to call my mom and see if she could come get me, because I knew she was the closest and she wasn't working. My dad was at work, so was my wife. But it was a long story. I'll spare you the details, but long story short, my mama finally came and got me. I say finally, not like I wasn't like impatiently waiting on her or anything, but I was finally rescued, I guess you could say, because there was no way I was going to make it through that hike. That was the closest I've ever came in my life to thinking I was going to have some serious problems, either pass out, get dizzy and pass out, or have a heat stroke, something. I don't know, but I kept having a headache that would come on and off. It would, my head would hurt, and it would go away. It would come back, it would go away, and then my body. The one thing I knew, the point where I knew I had to make a phone call was my body started getting tingly. My head, my feet, my fingers, they started tingling. I'm not an expert on all that, but I know that's not supposed to happen. So anyway, back on the road, we pulled over. My mom came and got me, brought me some Gatorade and some water. I've still got this ice wrapped up in a towel around my neck, still trying to just keep myself cool. We parked for about probably an hour while my body temperature lowered, and I drank some Gatorade and some water, and then anyway, I feel a lot better now. So I hate this video ended up like this, but I'm almost glad it did, because it's a good lesson. Kind of reminded me just how severe the heat can be when you're not prepared for it, or even when you are prepared for it. Because I thought I had plenty of water, but I mean, let's face it, I was attempting to hike about 8 to 9 miles in the summer heat, and I shouldn't have done that. But I haven't gone back and looked at all the footage from this morning. but I'm quite sure. I think I took two photos this morning. Hopefully we have a little bit to make a little bit of a small video, and definitely will have an interesting ending, that's for sure. So we are, Mom's following right behind me just in case I start driving funny. I feel good. I'm not worried about anything, but going to the big town of Bude, Mississippi, and we're going to go get a burger at a place called Hilltop. And been around as long as I can remember, ever since I was a kid. So anyway, not sure if I'm gonna end the video here or bring you back later, but right now we're going to eat. All right, y'all, I'm back from my trip. I have recovered. I've had plenty of days to rehydrate myself and think back and reflect on what happened in this video. I learned a lot, and I hope maybe you picked up on a few things too. If it's extremely hot outside, whether you have 2 gallons of water or whether you have 4 bottles like I had, you don't need to be going outside. It's just too hot out there. At least here in the deep south. Most of our days it is almost at the end of August. I think it's the last week of August right now, and we have had at least half of the month of August for us here in Mississippi. We have had highs over 100 degrees every day. Of course, that's Fahrenheit, but it's been miserable. But anyway, I'm not gonna go through all that again, because if you've watched the video, I've explained everything that happened. You saw what happened. I got way overheated, and I'm just thankful that I was able to swallow my pride and actually call for help, because if I would have kept going, wouldn't have been. I would not have made another 6 miles in that heat. Especially with the amount of water I had, which was not enough. So anyway, I'm just doing some final touches on my video. Probably can't really see it. It is too many glares, but anyway, going to close out the video with this video and then upload it tonight. So anyway, again, hope y'all learned something. If it wasn't much photography, I really hoped it would have been. I hope I can go back there maybe in the fall. Maybe when it's a little bit cooler outside and not, I don't even know what it was that day, 101, 102, with extremely high humidity. But hopefully I can go back and show you guys what the rest of that trail was like, because it's a beautiful place. It covers miles and miles of just beautiful hardwoods, pine thickets, just anything and everything you could imagine. It has it. We're all right there in that one loop, that one trail, and which is why I wanted to complete it, but just too hot for it. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Go ahead and get this uploaded, and so y'all can see it. If you like the video, if you like this kind of stuff, whether it be hiking, photography, my last video was even fishing in Venice, Louisiana. So if you like pretty much anything outdoors, I'm going to try to stay on track with photography, because that's my passion. I'm going to try my best to stick with, make most of my videos about photography, but every now and again you'll have some mixes of other stuff like hiking and camping mixed in there with it. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button. If you want to see more, just hit the subscribe button, and I will see y'all on the next one.